And the comedian and folk musician Tom Smothers has died at the age of 86. With his brother, he hosted the Smothers Brothers, a pioneering TV show in the 1960s, which made headlines for its fights over censorship with CBS for tackling topics like the Civil Rights Movement and the Vietnam War. In 1967, the Smothers Brothers convinced CBS to allow folk singer Pete Seeger to appear on the show, even though he'd been blacklisted from TV since the 1950s. While CBS finally said yes, the network refused to air the segment after Pete Seeger sang out against the Vietnam War. In 2003, Pete Seeger appeared on Democracy Now! And talked about what happened.
Finally, in October, they said, OK, you can have him on. And I sang this song, waist deep in the big muddy, the big fool says to push on. The tape was made in California, flown to New York, and in New York they scissored the song out. And now the Smothers Brothers took to the print media and said, CBS is censoring our best jokes. They censored Seeger's best song, and they got some publicity.
You can see the whole interview at democracynow.org. CBS finally allowed Pete Seeger's performance to air months later, thanks in part due to pressure from Tom Smothers. Tom Smothers died at the age of 86 on Tuesday in Santa Rosa, California. And those are some of the headlines. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org. We'll be back after we hear Pete Seeger performing on the Smothers Brothers.
It was back in 1942, I was a member of a good platoon. We were on maneuvers in Louisiana one night by the light of the moon. The captain told us to ford a river, that's how it all begun. We were knee-deep in the big muddy, the big fool said to push on. Well, the sergeant said, sir, are you sure this is the best way back to the base? Sergeant, go on, I've forded this river about a mile above this place. It'll be a little soggy, but just keep slogging, we'll soon be on dry ground. We were waist deep in the big muddy, the big fool said to push on. Sergeant said, sir, with all this equipment, no man will be able to swim.
Pete Seeger performing waist deep in the big muddy on the Smothers Brothers. The show's co-host Tom Smothers has died at the age of 86.